What is going on, fellow gamers? Bringing you guys another Arma Reforger video, a little bit different. This is going to showcase the different things that are added in 1.3. Now, I know this video is a little bit late to the party. 2 days after, more like three now, 3 to 2 days after the launch of 1.3, it's a good update, let me tell you. So that's why today I'm making this video to allow the returning Arma Reforger players. If you haven't played Arma Reforger in a while, you can look at this video and you can be like, oh, so that's all the stuff that changed, and that's all the stuff that I'm going to be looking into when I get into a server. Now, some of this stuff may depend on what server you join. What I'm going to be going over today is just mostly stuff that will be affected in official servers. So, for example, one of the things that are changing in 1.3 is the arsenal system. So if you're on an official server, you will not be able to just grab anything out the loadout anymore. Certain things will require certain ranks. So that is going to be pretty interesting in how the players get around that. But starting out, if you are not subscribed and you want to support the channel, subscribe. 90% of the people who watch the content are not subscribed. So if you're not subscribed, subscribe to the channel. It'll help out greatly. And you won't miss any future content coming out. But regardless of all that, like I was saying earlier, this stuff is going to be mainly for official servers. It is added in the modded servers. Some of it is, most of it is. Depending on what server you play on, it may depend, so I can't speak on all servers. But what we got added today, we got a LAV 25 in the update 1.3, along with mortars, which is the hugest thing. We also have a new scout vehicle on the Russian side, which is pretty cool. They also have mortars, so it is very balanced when it comes down to mortars. Not one side has the mortars. We also now have attack choppers, which is just craziness to even think about. We now have these attack choppers with the missiles. It is dope. This is base game, not a mod. Sick stuff. And then we also have the same thing for the Russian side, but they have a little bit more missiles, in my opinion, on their helicopters. But their helicopters are a little bit less maneuverable than the UH-1. So, it all really depends on what you're able to achieve and how you're able to do it. Strategy. You got to be able to strategize your moves with these choppers, know their weaknesses, know their strengths. But yeah, this update 1.3, it is absolutely crazy. If you have not checked out Arma Reforger yet, pick up a copy for it for yourself. It is amazing. It is definitely worth the buck, definitely worth the while. If you have not checked out 1.3 and you are a returning Arma player, I would advise doing so. But with that, without further ado, let's hop right into the video. As we roll into update 1.3 here, with it coming out with a few days after its launch, I'd like to go over some things that it will be launching. With this tab that you're seeing right now, this is from Steam itself. As we start here, we're getting into the Lab 25 and the BDRM2, two very good reconnaissance vehicles, and honestly, they can even put up a very good fight, even if they had to. We also have offensive helicopters, so meaning gunships, but with rocket pods. So we have the rocket pod gunships, and this is all base game, by the way. This is not modded servers. Like, this isn't just on one single server. Like, this is the 1.3 update for Arma Reforger for the actual game itself. So this will be in official servers mainly, and obviously it will be in modded servers, but the people who will be enjoying this the most will be the people in official. We also have mortars as well. Arma Reforger is now bringing mortars, which is, I've been waiting for this for a long time, and I cannot wait to start diving in to the actual use some mortars. It's going to be very good. I can't wait to run some FOBs. It's going to be pretty awesome. We're going to get some good content of that. Building and tree destruction. It is honestly insane. I've seen it. Now obviously it's not as good as Battlefield or anything like that. Battlefield's destruction is just insane. Their engine with that, they've mastered that. But um, it's basically like Arma 3, but just a little bit more janky. They got to put a little bit more work into it, I think. But once they do that and they get a little bit more work put into it, I think it'll be top notch. But like if it'll be at least a little bit more like Arma 3, that'd be great. Because with Arma 3, the building would kind of show like it's gonna collapse. But in this, with their destruction, it just has a health pool and it stays the same until it reaches zero or whatever, and then the building will just destroy. So, it's not really like Arma 3, but if they make it a little bit more like that, I think it'd go little bit better way, but just my opinion. Illumination scenario. Or elimination scenario. Oh my god, I can't read. Holy crap. I think it's time for glasses. Nah, I think it's time for glasses. Oh my lord. But they're bringing basically some single player campaign scenarios to the game to, try to give the single player guys something to play along the lines of that, which basically you just go around, you eliminate officers, you're basically a sniper. You can do close quarters. The mission gives you options. It's pretty cool. And overhaul game systems. So basically, players are now unable to spawn on contested bases. So by contested bases, meaning if someone is attacking your FOB or the objective that you are trying to spawn on, you will not be able to spawn on it due to that, which I enjoy that a lot because like when you're attacking objectives, you don't have someone just pop up in front of you and then they have God mode for 4 seconds and you can't kill them. It's annoying, and then they can kill you. So it's a game changer. It's going to be very balancing. Capture timers used to rely on the amount of compositions built on each base. In 1.3, capture time is related to the number of bases connected to the contested one via radio network. So that means that basically the capture time will amount to how important the point is. If it's a point that is backed by a lot of radio networks, it is going to take a longer time to capture. If it isn't, it's going to take a shorter time to capture. So that is one thing to consider now in 1.3 when you are capturing bases. There's adjustments on the AI. I know that being more better with our aim and stuff. So I know that, but there are some things that they did add that aren't added in this list, and that's why I just wanted to add this and read the list with you guys and go over what was added and such. But there are a little bit of things. For example, as we're talking about this, there is so when you're driving, like in the earlier update before 1.3, when you were driving off road and stuff, the wheel would not move at like as much as it does now. Like the amount of feedback that you have when you're driving on a dirt road or if you're driving off road now, which I'll put a video of me driving to show you guys how different it is. It is way more tweaked. It definitely has been tweaked, and it was not mentioned in the update thing. So there are some sneaky things that they do put in there that you have to, pay attention to. And you'll be able to, tell differences and stuff if you played the game for a while. But if anyone has been driving and has noticed that difference, let me know, or just let me know if maybe I'm just going bonkers because I'm pretty positive it has changed. It does feel a little different because I got in a car and I was like, "What is this? This is pretty interesting." The handling is a little wonky, but even some of the flight models I'd say have been tweaked a bit. So that is one thing to consider if you're going to be getting into 1.3. Now, again, this is 2 days after its launch, I believe, or maybe a day. But yeah, it is not a you know breaking news, but if you are a returning player and you haven't played in a while, these are the things to um, look into for sure. But without further ado, let's get into some video coverage of the updated features, which I will just be having basic cinematics that I'm making in the editor of the stuff being used. That way you guys can kind of see what is taking place on the front lines in Reforger in 1.3. Without further ado, let's hop right into it. Another thing that got updated that I didn't mention in the listing when we went over the list on Steam is in the official game mode, supply trucks will now be able to have more supplies. So essentially, the supply trucks now are going to be able to carry 1,500 supplies per load that you do. So if you load up one supply truck, that is 1,500 supplies worth that you'll be able to bring to an objective. The UAZs, they're capable of carrying 7 people or 2 people and 500 supplies, and there's a cargo variant of that vehicle capable of carrying 800 supplies. So that is pretty dope how they're upping the supplies. Some of the vehicles will have more supplies. Helicopters will for sure have more supplies. Like, for example, the UH-1 and the Mi-8 helicopters, they are able to transport relatively more. It might be like 300 more, 200 more. I'm not for sure the exact number. But I know for sure that they have a decent amount more supplies. But that is pretty much just the supply buff that they added for the game. I wanted to make sure that this was in there because I did miss it on the listing. So, yeah. That is the supplies overhaul for update 1.3. So as we get into the driving in 1.3, nothing really changed with like how, like if you have manual on or whatever, nothing really changed in that regard. The one thing that I want to specify on is see how the wheel is moving when I start driving. That didn't used to move that much, and you will see the car actually start drifting now. Like I'm only pressing the gas, not turning. So it is way more punishing driving off-road now. Like you actually have to make sure that you are constantly being vigilant behind the wheel, because now that is moving. Now if I go off the dirt road and I go straight onto the off-road, it gets worse. You can see the car kind of will stay relatively straight, but now it will veer off when you don't put inputs in it to steer. It will start veering off, veering back. So that is some of the cool things that they added. And it doesn't do it as much on the pavement because obviously it's pavement. It's supposed to be smooth. So that's pretty cool. Pretty cool feature that they added with the driving. Show you guys how crazy the... Well, it's not really crazy, but, you know, the Arma Reforger driving is nothing to look down on. It is so good the way they did it. Way better than Arma 3, that's for sure. But like as you can see, it's crazy. It's punishing if you overcorrect at all or anything like that. So the driving is super good, but I just wanted to add that they did tweak that steering wheel a little bit with the feedback when you're driving on these roads. So again, if I just, hold the gas, I don't do anything, it'll start veering off the road. But if I keep correcting, it will stay there. So that is that. If anybody says it hasn't changed and I'm crazy, let me know. But I'm pretty positive from what I remember, because I don't really I like taking helicopters. I like driving. I like staying low key. So, I drive a lot in this game, so I kind of can tell when it is a little different. If you notice it's a little different, comment down below. If you say it's not different, still comment down below. Leave your opinion. But yeah, that is the updated driving in 1.3. Hey guys, BattleNos. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you like the content, like, subscribe. Definitely helps us out. We're at 105 subscribers now. We're trying to get to 200 subs. We're on that road. It is just amazing. I appreciate all the people who watch the videos. It makes my day knowing that I can, grab a viewer's attention at least for a couple minutes and maybe even brighten up their day. It makes my day. So thank you guys. If you want to support in any other ways other than subscribing, I have some Discord links down below in the description. I have my OGGSC gaming community. If you want to join a band with all the gamers, join us there. If you want to join a Arma 3 Milsim unit, I run my own Task Force Crimson Arma 3 Milsim unit. We're looking for active body members. If you want to join, if that's your thing, Discord link will be down below. But without further ado, I hope you guys are having a good night, day, evening, whatever it may be. And I will see y'all fellow gamers in the next video. Deuces.